Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Mirror Neuron, which means watch and learn. And today we are going to discuss about 9 mistakes that you can do that will change your data science career. So we are going to specifically talk about what not to do during a data science interview. So the first thing typically any data science interviewer would ask is, what are you going to do as soon as you get some data and the business problem? Now, are you going to jumpstart to build a solution, or would you start looking which tools and technology you are going to use, or are you going to first do some exploratory data analysis, commonly known as EDA, and what would be your choice, right? So in my opinion, the first thing that you should be familiar with something called as EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. And this is the first step to identify how can we solve a particular problem. It also helps in clarifying what exactly the problem statement is. And if you spoke about solutions or tools or algorithms to begin with, you might get a hard time during the interview. Okay, so make sure you start with exploratory data analysis. Okay, what is the second mistake that many people do during a data science interview? And say, for example, an interviewer asks you a mathematics problem in an interview and you need to answer how to solve it. So don't start just by answering which Python libraries can solve it, or don't answer what this package or that package or libraries do, right? Instead, answer the underlying theory and explain what ways can it be done better. And then you might, of course, add saying that nowadays this library can be used to quickly implement that. That's still a better answer. Okay, don't start with tools and technologies. Okay, so in short, what we are going to say, understand what the internal working of a problem or an answer is. Don't try to start with tools and technologies. Okay, what is the third part? The third is, say if you haven't worked on a certain application or haven't used a particular algorithm, don't mention it in your resume just to get shortlisted for the interview, because most interviewers will ask questions based on your resume. So if you add an algorithm in your resume and say you have to, because nowadays some algorithm does shortlist your resume, so you have added those algorithms in your resume, so try to spend some time to understand how a certain algorithm works. And even if you might not be using that algorithm in your current projects, but still read about it. That shows the interviewer that you are self-motivated to learn, and you might have a better chance to get the job, because that is one more additional skills. You should be reading every now and then about new technologies and new tools and concepts and so on. Okay, so in short, we are going to say, don't be clueless, right, about algorithms. You should know how they internally work if you are mentioning that in your resume. What is the fourth one? So know it all. I put it as know it all. Don't try to tell your interviewer that you know all the machine learning algorithms and framework out there. That is the stupidest mistake you are going to do. Don't make your resume look like Wikipedia of ML technologies. Okay, just don't. Okay, what is the fifth? So always talk about approach, okay, and not just answers. Not just answer. What do I mean by that? So it's what I mean by that is, giving an answer and not explaining how you are going to arrive to that answer is one of the big mistake you are going to commit. So don't give an answer directly. So data scientists are also storytellers. So tell a story around that, how you're going to arrive at that answer. Okay, so that's why I said give more emphasis on the approach and not just the answer. Okay, what is the sixth thing that will help you or don't commit that mistake? Okay, is not selling your skills. See, in a company, if I can do everything with tools and technologies, then I will probably just buy tools and technologies and I will not buy any human being. I'm not, oh sorry, not buy, I'm saying don't hire or get your new team members, because tools and technologies can do everything, right? So don't say this tool or that technology will do. Rather tell you yourself that what are the best skills you have which will benefit the company where you're giving the interview for. So if you tell that you're good with the business domain, or you're good with certain tools and technologies, you can optimize, you're good with planning, you're good with time management, you can see ahead of time, you can write codes which can be reused. Talk more about it. Okay, sell your skills, don't just talk about tools and technologies. Okay, what is the seventh part? So most interviewers will ask you about the challenges that you have faced while solving a machine learning problem, rather just talking about the successes you have. So be prepared ahead of time. Challenges tells the interviewer what kind of data scientist you are. So if a person only solve problem easily without tackling challenges, guess what? You are going to have a lot of problem on that. 99% of the machine learning projects are filled with only challenges, and they will probably not hire you because you've never faced one. So don't tell them that you have not made any mistakes. Okay, don't tell them that. Okay, what is the eighth mistake? Okay, we have two more to go. What is the eighth mistake? Many people I have seen that they talk about big data like exchangeably, right? Oh, maybe I've created a new word altogether. Interchangeably, right? Don't say that you have worked in a 2 to 5 GB of data and you're telling that you have worked on a big data problem. Guess what? They're going to literally mock at you. Big data is a very large volume of data where distributed computing is required to solve that problem. So when we talk about big data, we are actually talking about, say, terabytes and hundreds of petabytes of data. Typically a bank's transaction data are of that volume. So those are actually big data which cannot be solved on a standalone laptop or a server. We need distributed computing for that. So if you have not worked on that, don't use the term big data. If your data set was like hardly 10 GB or even 15 GB, don't say that it's a big data problem. Okay, so don't mention about big data unless you understand what big data actually is. Okay, ninth and the last part, I will write it straight away, it's domain knowledge. If you tell your interviewer that you don't read about business domain, okay, then what? They're going to not trust your answer so much, because business domain is like a data scientist without business domain is like a ship without a rudder. That means that business domain to a great extent gives you the direction that how to solve a problem. Okay, so try to read business case studies as much as possible. Now out of these 9 mistakes, if I have to really boil it down to the top 3, then I would definitely go with EDA. And I have put some courses in the description section which you can use to learn about exploratory data analysis. Please make sure you do cover EDA part as part of your job preparation or interview preparation. That is the first thing. Internal working of algorithm is the second most important thing that you should know. I know that libraries and other tools can do and implement these algorithms, but you should know internally how they work. Okay, the third most important thing is the approach, how you're going to solve it. Tell a story around it. This is very, very important. I cannot emphasize more than that. Okay, and of course the topmost is the domain knowledge. You should read as much as possible, different problems, different solutions. This will give you new ideas and creative way to solve a business problem. All right, so I hope this 9-minute of your 9-minute video will give you a very clear path how to prepare for a data science interview so that you don't commit those mistakes. All the best for your data science career.